let's move on to topic number 6 tonight. And that is, more baseball, and that's the Mets booing their fans back and giving those New York fans a little taste of their own medicine. And so what do you think about this with, a Major League Baseball team or a professional sports team in general just giving a little flack back to their fans?
I'm kind of torn on this because on the one hand, fans have gotten to the point where they just think they can do whatever they want if they pay for a ticket, which is wrong. I mean, we dealt with this a few months ago when the idiot in Boston threw a bottle at Kyrie Irving. And, there was actually a documentary that just came out on Netflix about the Malice at the Palace with Ron Artest going into the stands. And that's the most extreme version of that we've seen in a long time. But, you can't just do whatever you want when you go into a stadium. So fans, I mean, we've all been there. We've all been at, Fenway Park, here in New England, Gillette Stadium. I've been a fan, and there's times where I'm like, why are you booing this person so much or whatever? But I still think it's, I don't think there's anything wrong with booing during a game if the team's not playing well. But there's a difference between booing and just attacking a person as a, attacking a player as a person, or attacking their manhood, I guess you could say, or, womanhood, whoever's out there. But at the same time, I want to say to some of these Mets players, you guys signed big deals to be in New York. It's New York. Just like when you sign with Boston, just like when you sign with Philly, just like when you sign with Chicago, those are places where fans love their teams, okay? And they're going to be emotional about games. That's just how it is. If you don't want to, have fans be emotional, you can go play for the Marlins when nobody shows up to the games. You can go play for the Rays where they're really good every year and they're kicking everybody's butt in the AL East, but there was 7,000 fans at the stadium yesterday when they're playing the Red Sox,
Yeah.
So it's like, I know we want a happy medium, which I totally get. A couple of Mets came out and said, we shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be booing our fans. They came to see us, that sort of thing. So I think this is going to calm down a little bit. But like I said, I'm kind of torn because I don't think this is a big deal. Like, if the players want to put their thumbs down and boo the fans, go ahead. No skin off my back. So I don't think it's that big a deal. But, again, they signed up to play in New York. So when you do sign up to play in a place like New York, you got to kind of deal with the flack that comes with that and the pressure that comes with that, whether it's in the media, in the stands, wherever. There's certainly a point where fans go overboard, and that's not okay. But just booing and that sort of thing, you got to put up with it when you're in New York.
No, yeah, you bring up a great point. And first, can I say that I know it's not the Yankees, but it is a New York team, so I'm thoroughly enjoying this.
Yes.
And just watching any of this happen when it comes to any New York team, right? So I'm definitely enjoying this. But I guess I see both sides here. With I see the players being like, hey, we're sick of it at this point. You're supposed to be here supporting us and building us up. But then I see the fans thing too. And you bring up a great thing where, fans have gotten rowdy and overstepped the line a lot recently. But I don't think this is that case at all. I think, like you said, booing is common, especially in cities, the ones that you brought up, Boston, Philly, New York, right? There's some more that you're just expecting it if you don't do good as a professional player. So I just think, like you said, this is one of those things when you are a professional athlete, you've got to expect it, and you've got to just keep rolling with the punches and be like, hey, the checks are rolling in, and I don't care if the boos are rolling in because the checks are rolling in. So go out there and do your job. But I do think it's a small story here, but I think we just wanted it because it's, like you said, it's entertaining because it's these New York fans and the New York players, even though it's not the dreaded Yankees, and I've got to say, I like the Mets fans a lot, to be honest. I've gone to a game at Mets Stadium, Shea Stadium, and it was a great time, a great showing there. The whole time, it's right near the airport, so there's literally jets and 747s flying over the game the whole time. So even if the games are like boring, you get to watch jet take off like 20 feet above you. It's pretty amazing. So great dynamic of a stadium there at Shea Stadium. So I gotta, like I said, I like these fans at the Mets and Shea Stadium, especially compared to the dreaded Yankees fans. But yeah, I think this is a thing where I think both sides have a right here. But I think you brought up a great point where I think this is going to die down pretty fast because I think even the front office is going to be like, you can't be booing the fans, man. They're the ones that pay, your salary, my salary, everybody else's salary. So we need these fans to keep coming and buying your jersey there, Baez. So it's just really one of those things where I think this will stop from the players really soon, and it's not a big deal at all.
Yeah, I think this story's going to get old. We've seen throughout sports, like I mentioned before, that some fans have gone overboard and some players have come back and said, you got to protect us, in a better manner. This seems more just like fans' reaction to bad play, which to me is okay. So, there's sort of this back and forth. But again, the players are human, and at some point there's going to be a breaking point. So, like you said, I think this story is going to die down pretty quickly. But like you mentioned, it's funny to see New York teams go through this because we appreciate that here up in Boston. Folks, if you like this show, you're watching it right now on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. That's Comeback Sports on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, Comeback Sports. And then all the cut-ups that our awesome producer, Ben Kudo, puts together after the show, that'll all filter to your YouTube channel. You don't have to go search for it. It's just right there in your subscriptions.